Hi again, time for another one of those weekly Wednesday windshield webcasts. Today I'm actually just on my way down to work. I'm not on my way down to Lincoln, but hey, I thought I had a few things to say. I might as well say them to you. I thought we'd talk a little bit about digital cameras today, and specifically I thought we'd talk a little bit about the difference between what they call optical zoom and digital zoom. Now, zooming. If you have a camera, you probably know what zooming is already, but just in case you don't, your camera should have the ability to let you get closer in and farther away from a subject without actually moving closer or farther away. And we call that feature the zoom feature. It's typically done optically, meaning that the lens on your camera changes as you push a little toggle button or you use a little finger switch to move back and forth, but it makes the optics change so it looks like you're getting closer or farther away through the viewfinder. And of course that's zooming. Zooming is a very powerful digital camera feature. It's something that lets you frame the picture correctly. It allows you to get closer to action that you can't get close to. I mean, it's one of the very, very important features that your camera should have. Now, there are two kinds of zoom when it comes to digital cameras, and we didn't have this back in the film days. But with digital cameras, we have what is called optical zoom, which is true zoom. It's the zoom that's done by the optics of your lens, and I kind of call it good zoom. But then a lot of cameras also have what is called digital zoom. I affectionately call digital zoom bad zoom. And the reason I call it bad zoom is because it's really an artificial way to enlarge parts of the picture, and frankly, the quality is not good. Here's the deal. With digital zoom, what the camera does is it takes a little part of your sensor chip. The picture that you're taking falls upon the sensor chip inside your camera. And remember, from other webcasts that we've talked about, the sensor chip is actually a grid of small little squares we call pixels. Well, what digital zoom does is this. Let's say that you're taking a picture of a mountain goat up on the side of a mountain, and the mountain goat is just a little tiny portion of your picture. When that image falls upon the sensor chip, digital zoom, as you press and go in to zoom even closer on the goat with digital zoom, the camera literally enlarges that part of the sensor chip to make the goat look bigger. Now, the problem with that is that it's also enlarging the little tiny squares and making them bigger squares. And guess what happens in your picture? You begin to see the squares. We sometimes refer to that as pixelation. If you look at the edge of things that are enlarged, they look jagged. They look like a stair-step, jaggy type of look. That's the problem with digital zoom. It's not true zoom. So here's the deal. I suggest that you not use digital zoom. If your camera has both optical and digital, I would just use the optical zoom. Now, how do you do that? Well, a lot of times in your camera menu system, when you press the menu button and you can kind of flip through different options on the back of your camera, there in your options there should be an option that lets you turn digital zooming off so that you can't even get into it even if you wanted to. That's what I would suggest you do. Now, the second thing is that a lot of times digital zoom is kicked into when you begin zooming in and you're holding your finger on the zoom button. You'll get all the way in optically and the zoom will stop. But then if you continue to press the zoom button, after another second or two, the zoom will continue. Well, now you've kicked into digital zoom. So normally you can tell when you're going from optical to digital. In fact, sometimes even in the viewfinder or on your LCD on the back, if you're using that to compose the picture, you will actually see some type of an indicator saying that now you've gone from optical to digital. Now, I wouldn't trust me. If you want to experiment with the digital zoom just to see what kind of picture you'd get, I highly suggest you do that. Go outside, find a distant object, zoom in on it optically, take a picture. Then go ahead and zoom in on it even more with your digital zoom and take another picture. Bring them both back to your computer, open them up in your favorite image editor, compare the two, and in fact, for the optical picture, go ahead and enlarge it make it bigger on the screen so that it's the same size as the digital zoom picture, compare the two. And I think what you're going to find is that enlarging the picture on your computer to get that little piece of the picture bigger is going to be better than using your digital zoom to make it bigger. So give it a try. Again, don't ever trust me. You never know what I'm going to tell you. That is your weekly Wednesday windshield webcast for today. Have a great rest of the day.